Okay, let's unpack this. Have you ever imagined pursuing a medical career amidst, well, the breathtaking beauty of the Himalayas? What's the real journey like for aspiring doctors, dentists, and maybe even traditional healers in a place as unique as Himachal Pradesh?
It's a truly distinctive landscape for medical education, yeah. Today, we're doing a bit of a deep dive into the medical and MBBS setting of Himachal Pradesh. We're drawing insights, directly from official prospectuses and counseling guides to bring you the essential information.
That's right. Our mission is to give you a clear, concise pathway to understanding what it takes to pursue MBBS, BDS, and even those traditional AUS courses like BAMS and BHMS in this stunning northern Indian state. We'll try and cover everything from the all-important admission processes and NEET rankings
Mm-hmm.
to the daily life and expenses for medical students.
And we'll focus on the key insights and important considerations, yeah. Aiming to give you those aha moments without, drowning you in an ocean of overwhelming detail.
So let's set the scene first. Who are the guiding forces behind medical education here? And what types of institutions should aspiring students be looking at?
Right. The Central Authority for Medical Admissions in Himachal Pradesh is the Atal Medical and Research University, or AMRU. It's located in Nurchok, Mandi. Think of them as the main gateway, really, for anyone aspiring to study medicine or dentistry in the region. They conduct all the centralized counseling.
Okay, AMRU. And what about the colleges themselves? What kind of options are there for MBBS and BDS, government and private?
Himachal Pradesh offers a pretty strong mix. For MBBS, you have well-established government institutions like Indira Gandhi Medical College, IGMC, in Shimla. That one's been educating doctors since way back in 1966. And there's Dr. Rajendra Prasad Government Medical College in Kangra at Tanda, opened in 97. Both have an intake of 100 students each.
100 each, okay. Any newer ones?
Yeah, more recent additions include government colleges in Nahan, Nurchok, Chamba, and Hamirpur. Each of those also admits 100 MBBS students. And these aren't just for undergraduate studies. They also offer postgraduate MDMS and PG diploma courses, too.
Right. And for those maybe setting their sights on dentistry.
Okay, on the dental front, there's the HP Government Dental College and Hospital in Shimla. They've been offering their BDS program since 1994, currently with 60 seats. And complementing this are private institutions like Himachal Dental College and Hospital in Sundarnagar and Bojia Dental College and Hospital in Ceylon. Both also have 60 BDS seats.
60 seats there, too.
Yeah. What's important here is that all these colleges are recognized by the relevant national councils, MCI or DCI, and they're affiliated with AMRU. So that ensures a consistent and recognized standard of education.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, this is where I think it gets particularly interesting. Beyond conventional modern medicine, Himachal Pradesh seems to have this unique commitment to traditional healing systems. What's the picture for AYUSH admissions like BAMS and BHMS?
Indeed, yeah, this integration is a significant differentiator. The HBA-WISHI's counseling also relies on NEET UG scores for admissions. That's for BAMS, which is Ayurveda, and BHMS, homeopathy. Key institutions include the Rajiv Gandhi Govt PG Ayurvedic College and Hospital in Kangra, Shiva Ayurvedic Medical College in Bilaspur, and Sulin Homeopathic Medical College.
So NEET covers AYUSH too. Good to know.
Exactly. And the real insight here, I think, is how Himachal uniquely blends these ancient healing traditions with modern medicine. It's not just about offering separate courses. It seems to reflect a deeper cultural respect for holistic health, offering students a broader perspective on patient care you might not find in purely allopathic settings.
That is a fascinating dimension. Any particularly unique institutions within that IRE sphere?
Absolutely. There's a Palashi Ayurvedic College in Mandi, which is notable as the state's first private Ayurveda college. They offer BAMS and postgraduate Ayurveda programs. But perhaps the most distinctive is the Mensikang Soa Rigpa Medical College and Hospital in Dharamsala.
So
Yeah, it offers a Bachelor of Soa Rigpa Medicine and Surgery. It's a Tibetan traditional medicine course, and the instruction is primarily in Boti or Tibetan language. And many of these AWUH colleges, they boast impressive facilities too, like 100-bed hospitals, fully equipped pathology labs, and extensive herbal gardens with hundreds of medicinal plant species. Sort of a living laboratory, you could say.
Wow, a living laboratory. Okay, so we've explored this diverse range of institutions. Now let's maybe map out the journey for our listeners. How does one actually secure a seat? What's the roadmap for medical admissions in Himachal Pradesh?
Right, the roadmap. Well, the National Eligibility Cum Entrance Test, NEET-UG, is the singular, absolutely non-negotiable gateway. That's for MBBS, BDS, BAMS, and BHMS admissions in Himachal Pradesh. AMRU meticulously draws its merit list solely from candidates who have qualified this national exam. There's just no bypassing it.
Okay, NEET is king. So, what are the fundamental eligibility criteria that aspiring students absolutely must meet?
Okay, eligibility. To be considered, you definitely need to have passed your 10+2 or equivalent. That means having physics, chemistry, biology or biotechnology, and English as individual subjects. For general category students, a minimum 50% aggregate marks in physics, chemistry, and biology is required.
50% aggregate in PCB for general.
Exactly, and this drops to 40% for reserved categories like SC, ST, or OBC. For candidates with benchmark disabilities, the requirement is 45% for general PH and 40% for SC, ST, OBC, PH.
Got it. And what about NEET scores themselves?
Right, beyond the academic scores, you also have to meet the NEET-UG percentile cutoff. That's the 50th percentile for general, 40th for reserved categories, and 45th for general PH. And age-wise, you need to be at least 17 years old by December 31st of the admission year. Good news is, there's no upper age limit anymore.
No upper age limit, right. That's a clear overview of the requirements. So what's the online application and counseling process like once a student actually qualifies NEET?
Okay, the process itself, it's entirely online, managed through the AMRU website we mentioned earlier. First, you'll download the prospectus, read that carefully. Then you fill out the online application. And it's absolutely critical, really crucial, that your NEET-UG details, your photograph, signature, even your left thumb impression, precisely match your NEET-UG records. Any mismatch could invalidate your application.
Precision is key then. What about fees?
The application fee is usually around 2,000 rupees for general OBC WS-NRI candidates and about 1,000 for SCS-TPWD.
Okay. And then comes that crucial step of choice filling and choice locking. How does that actually work?
Yeah, this is a particularly critical point in the process. After submitting your application, you'll log back into the portal. Then you select and arrange your preferences, courses, colleges, quotas. You rank them, basically. The golden rule here is choose wisely, because once you lock your preferences, that's it. They cannot be edited or changed later. This step really dictates your potential seat allocation.
So lock means lock. Are there multiple rounds of counseling? And what if someone misses the first one for some reason?
Yes, good question. There are typically 3 main rounds of counseling, and often they're followed by a stray vacancy round if seats are still left. And if, for some reason, you miss round 1, you can absolutely still participate in the subsequent rounds. That's a common concern for many applicants, so yeah, you can jump in later.
That's good to know.
Oh, and it's also worth noting that any token fee you submit during counseling is usually refunded if you don't get allotted a seat, or it gets adjusted against your tuition if you do secure a spot.
Right, okay. For those planning ahead, maybe looking towards 2025, do we have any anticipated dates for Himachal Pradesh's counseling?
Well, precise 2025 dates will obviously be announced much closer to the time. But looking at the 2024 prospectus, prospective students can probably expect a similar pattern. For example, in 2024, the choice filling for round 1 started in late August. Our provisional seat allocation was just a few days later, and final allocation by the end of August. Joining dates then followed in early September, and the subsequent rounds, like round 2 and 3, continued through October. So that gives you a pretty good sense of the timeline to prepare for.
That timeline provides a great roadmap, definitely. So, after all the online forms and choices, what actually happens once a student is provisionally allotted a seat at a college? What's the next step?
Okay, so you get your provisional seat allocation, you'll download your allotment letter, and then you physically report to the designated college. And this is where the final eligibility is rigorously determined. It's not just paperwork. It involves a really thorough verification of all your original documents, mark sheets, certificates, everything.
Originals are key.
Absolutely. Then there's a comprehensive medical fitness examination. This is conducted by a medical board, usually at IGMC Shimla or Dr. RPGMC Tanda. And finally, the deposition of fees. It's really crucial to understand that just submitting the online form doesn't guarantee admission at all. Final admission hinges on fulfilling all these eligibility criteria right there at the college level. That includes meeting specific physical fitness standards too, like having normal vitals and acceptable vision. Interestingly, even a mild form of red-green color deficiency, CP4, is permissible.
Okay, so the college verification is the final hurdle. Now, many listeners wonder about this open state concept. Is Himachal Pradesh considered an open state for MBBS admissions? And how do the various quotas work within its system?
Yes, Himachal Pradesh is indeed considered an open state, but specifically when it comes to the All India quota, let me break that down. 85% of seats in government medical and dental colleges are reserved as state quota seats. These are for bona fide Himachali candidates generally. That means people who've resided in the state for a specified period or um, completed their qualifying education there.
85% state quota.
Right. The remaining 15% are All India quota seats, and these are open to all eligible candidates from across India, based purely on their NEET UG All India merit ranking. What's good for locals is that Himachali bona fide candidates can also compete for these All India quota seats, giving them sort of an additional pathway.
Okay, so 85-15 split. And within that state quota, are there specific reservations for different categories?
Oh, absolutely. The state quota includes pretty comprehensive reservations. We're talking scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, other backward classes, economically weaker sections, EWS, persons with disabilities, PWD, children of J&K migrants, children of Tibetan refugees, wards of ex-servicemen and defense personnel, and even a single girl-child category. There's also a provision for children of freedom fighters. One key thing for applicants: you have to specify only one category in your application. Changes aren't allowed later on.
Stick to one category, makes sense. What happens if some of these reserved seats don't get filled after all the rounds? Do they just stay empty?
Generally, no. If seats reserved for persons with disabilities remain unfilled, they are typically converted to the unreserved category pool. Similarly, any unfilled seats from niche categories like children of J&K migrants or children of Tibetan refugees are usually filled from the unreserved merit list. And there's a flexible provision for SC/ST categories. Their seats can be intertransferable if eligible candidates aren't available in one specific group but are in the other. It helps maximize opportunities.
Okay, so there's some flexibility built in. Now, what about the private colleges? Do they operate under a slightly different system, especially regarding, say, management quota seats?
Right? Private medical and dental colleges, like the well-known Maharishi Markandeeshwar Medical College in Solon, they also fill their seats through AMRU centralized counseling. So it's still the same process. They do have management quota seats. And yes, as you'd expect, these come with significantly higher tuition fees. But what's interesting and a potential benefit for Himachali students is this. If state quota seats in a private college remain vacant, even after exhausting the merit list, then eligible Himachali bona fide candidates who are already admitted under the management quota can sometimes be converted to state quota.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which means they would then be charged the much lower state quota fees instead. It's a specific scenario, but definitely worth knowing for local applicants considering private options.
That is a very interesting point. Okay, let's shift gears a bit now, maybe to the daily reality. What is the life of a medical student actually like in Himachal Pradesh? What are the typical expenses involved, and what kind of living arrangements can students generally expect?
Sure. Well, the expense of studying MBBS in Himachal Pradesh can vary quite dramatically, as you might guess, especially between government and private institutions. While exact numbers change year to year, the key takeaway is really the stark financial difference. Government colleges offer an incredibly affordable pathway, whereas private institutions, well, they demand a pretty substantial investment.
Can you give us a rough idea?
For instance, at a private college, hostel accommodation alone could range from roughly 19,000 to maybe 25,000 rupees monthly. And then you've got annual mess charges, often running over a lakh of rupees, and that usually excludes electricity and water bills.
Wow, okay.
Government colleges naturally present a much more economical alternative. Hostels generally require a refundable security deposit, usually just a few thousand rupees. And it's important for students and parents to know that colleges are legally prohibited from charging things like institutional development funds or building funds. Fees are also usually structured into manageable installments.
Right. No hidden charges, hopefully. So beyond the fees, what else stands out about daily student life? Are there specific facilities or, rules that really shape their experience?
Absolutely. There are a few things. All students admitted to MBBS or BDS are required to get vaccinated against hepatitis B within 6 months of admission. That's mandatory. Colleges provide periodic medical checkups for students, and if there are serious illnesses, they're typically managed at the college hospital itself. From a financial aid perspective, there are scholarships available for high-achieving students. For example, the Dr. Devi Chand Memorial Prize for top MBBS performers at IGMC Shimla, and various scholarships for BDS students at the HP Government Dental College.
So some support is there.
Yes, but perhaps what truly defines the life of medical students in Himachal Pradesh isn't just the campus rules or scholarships. It's the profound impact of its unique geography.
Ah, the geography. That raises a fascinating point. What does studying in the Himalayas actually mean for students, whether they're from Himachal itself or perhaps coming from across India?
It's a great question. While our sources don't explicitly detail every single reason students choose to come, or maybe why some Himachali students leave for elsewhere, the descriptions we see of colleges like Mensikong and Dharamsala or Apalashi Ayurvedic College in Mandi, they consistently highlight the marvelously scenic surroundings. Lush green fields, pine and oak forests.
That sounds idyllic.
It does. And this clean, health-oriented environment, it seems to offer an ideal place for intense study. For students perhaps coming from the bustling, maybe polluted cities elsewhere in India, it must be a significant draw. It offers a serene yet rigorous academic experience, a very unique lifestyle, and an environment that's really conducive to focused learning while being surrounded by incredible nature. It's an opportunity, I think, to immerse oneself not just in medicine, but in a tranquil, potentially inspiring setting that probably contrasts sharply with the typical urban university experience.
A different pace of life alongside the studies.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, another critical aspect of student life, and it's often a common concern for parents and students alike, is safety, particularly around ragging. Himachal Pradesh actually has very stringent anti-ragging measures in place.
That's definitely reassuring to hear. What are the key anti-ragging policies that students and parents really need to be aware of?
Right. Ragging is strictly prohibited in all educational institutions across Himachal Pradesh. It's under the state's Education Institutions Prohibition of Ragging Act of 2009, and the penalties are severe. Any student found guilty can face suspension, debarment from activities, hefty fines. We're talking potentially 50,000 to 1 lakh rupees.
Wow.
Yeah, and expulsion from the college or hostel, and even in serious cases, imprisonment for up to 3 years. Importantly, students who are expelled for ragging are barred from admission to any other institution for 3 years. It's a serious black mark.
So they really mean business.
They do. And to enforce this, all students and their parents must submit anti-ragging undertakings at the time of admission, acknowledging they understand these stringent rules. Hostels also enforce strict regulations. No personal electrical appliances like heaters, no cooking inside rooms, no pets, no unauthorized gatherings, and a strict no-tolerance policy for alcohol or smoking on premises. These measures, combined with active anti-ragging committees, squads, and CCTV surveillance in potentially vulnerable locations, really work together to ensure student safety and foster a conducive learning environment.
That sounds incredibly comprehensive. Well, we've truly taken a deep dive today, haven't we, into the whole medical education landscape of Himachal Pradesh. We've covered the intricate admission processes, the financial realities of fees, that unique blend of traditional and modern medical colleges, all set against that stunning geographical backdrop.
We have. We've seen how strict regulatory bodies like AMRU and, of course, the NEET UG scores really govern the admissions. And we've looked at the comprehensive measures in place for student well-being, particularly those robust anti-ragging policies that are so important for creating a safe learning environment.
Hopefully this deep dive has offered you, our listener, a clearer perspective on what pursuing a medical career in this dynamic state might actually entail. Understanding the various quotas, the potential expenses, and what daily life could look like.
Yeah, this exploration really reveals how Himachal Pradesh seems to harmonize its incredible natural beauty with serious academic rigor. It offers a distinct and potentially very enriching path in medical education.
So wrapping up, what does this all mean for you? Maybe the bigger picture to consider is this. How might studying medicine in a region that not only embraces cutting-edge practices, but also integrates ancient healing traditions, a region nestled within the serene embrace of the Himalayas, how might that uniquely shape not just your professional expertise as a doctor, but maybe your entire philosophy of health and patient care? Something to think about.